What's up, B.I.? This Will Guillory from The Athletic.
What's up, man?
What's been the focus of some of the work you've been doing? Why you?
You cut out. You cut out.
What's some of the stuff you've been focusing on while you've been away from the team?
Oh, well, being away from the team, I got a chance to be with family a little bit. Um, Focus on how I can help other people in the community, in my community back home. Um, I've been with my friends, just keeping my body fresh. So when I was able to come back into the gym, that I was going to be uh, almost ready to get back after it.
Hey, Brandon, it's Christian Clark with NOLA.com. There was a situation with the player in Washington, Davis Bertans, who had a really good, contract here and decided that it's probably not worth it for me to go. You're in sort of a similar situation where you had an excellent contract here. Why did you just ultimately decide that you wanted to go?
Well, I mean, I didn't look at it as if I had a choice of going or not. I think my teammates knew that I didn't question it or anything. I just want to play basketball at the end of the day. I think me being, like I always go back to, me being hurt made me want to come out and play basketball all the time. So when I got the chance, and when I get the chance to do it, I'm just going to go do it and be full force it. And I know that my teammates know that I'm there 100%, 110%, so I got to be there, and it wasn't a question on it.
Hey, Brandon, it's Dan Wenke from the LA Times. Good to see you. Two questions kind of along those lines. As cases have gone up, players around the league have tested positive. Has your kind of commitment to this ever wavered a little bit? And I guess secondly, you're getting ready to enter a multi-day quarantine. I'm curious kind of how you think you're going to try to handle that mentally, what your plans are for it.
Well, what was your first question again?
Just with everything that's happened, the cases going up,
Yeah.
Teammates testing positive, facilities shutting down around the league. Has your kind of commitment to this ever wavered at all?
Oh, no. I mean, to be honest with you, they send out text messages, they send out emails. I really haven't looked at none of the messages. Really haven't looked at none of the emails. I know it's like some important stuff in there, but I really just took it into my own hands to just try to be clean, try to wash my hands when I can, whatever I can do to be safe, and just make sure that everybody in the household is doing the same thing. As for the players that's getting tested positive, I tell everybody I feel like I'm from Kinston. I feel like I'm immune to a lot of stuff, and I'm not really worried about this virus. About the isolation part, I think I'm kind of excited for it because I'm around family all the time, and I never get a chance to just get by myself and think about things and think about different stuff in my life. So I think I'm excited for that part mentally also.
Ollie, go ahead.
Hey, Brandon, how you doing?
Doing good.
I'm curious, how much did your recent blood clot scare give you any kind of, possible chances of you maybe not going to Orlando with, there's the rise in numbers in Orlando especially?
The clot scare. Well, that was about at this date right now. It's been about a year now since that happened. So that really never crossed my mind about if I was going to take a chance on going about the blood clot scare. That's kind of really over with. As long as I do the right stuff in the weight room, on the training table, and whatever else.
Fletcher, go ahead.
Have you thought about the possibility? I know that Alvin says he plans on going. Coach Bezdelic is obviously pulled out. Some other coaches have pulled out. Have you thought about potentially what it could look like without two of your coaches there, maybe more of a leadership role for someone like you?
Absolutely. I think, at this point, we have a few guys on the team that been to the playoffs, and been in huge games and some meaningful stuff. But I think at this point, this is the time where we come together even more. We get to figure out more about each other. We get to figure out our strengths and our weaknesses on the basketball floor and what we can attack each night. And I think whoever goes, I think we'll grow as a team even more during this isolation.
Brandon, how much do you think about your contract status during this time, and do you just kind of let that wait to something that can happen in the off season?
Well, there's been questions from different people around about my contract this off season, but I never really sat down and just thought about it. I think that's for more after the season. I think this season is I was just so focused on being with my teammates and just playing basketball, being how that the last year went when I couldn't finish the season last year. So this year was just about me just going out there and showing where I belong and showing that I can excel in this new space. So I think playing in this it could help me out.
Have you thought about it maybe from a standpoint of you just had some really bad luck when it comes to what you had to do contract wise? I mean, last year your season ends, you don't get the extension preseason because they want to see you, and then you're playing great, and then this happens. Have you just kind of looked at it from that perspective?
Yeah, I mean, I know the way of life. I know the way of life. I know everything's not perfect. I know it's always going to be a bump in the road, but it's important for me to stay positive. It's important for me to keep my head up and just look for the next thing that I can be best at. And I think I got a good opportunity to go out and have another outing, hopefully win some more basketball games and get closer with my teammates. So that's the most important thing for me. I think if I worry about those things, then everything else will take care of itself. And hopefully stay healthy.
Hey, Brandon, Mark Medina here, USA Today. Good to see you and hope you're hanging in there. The point you made about thinking about ways you can give back to Kinston, your hometown, what are some of those things that have come to mind?
Well, we usually do around this time some stuff for the communities, for the kids, just giving back with book bags and some school supplies. This year we have a hospital up in Lenore County, Kinston, North Carolina, and we just gave back to some of the workers. We sent out some shoes, some book bags, some water bottles and stuff, just to show my appreciation and my family showing appreciation to them, because we have a lot of cases down in Lenore County also. Just giving back thanks to the frontline workers over there. So we've done some stuff in New Orleans also, just giving food to the community and some groceries. So we're just making sure we're doing our part.
Yeah, I was wondering, just from a team standpoint, I know we've talked a little bit today about individually, just from a team standpoint, what do you think you guys have, what's your feeling as a team as far as, how disappointing it would have been to not be able to kind of follow up on the way that you guys played the last few months of the season? I mean, how excited are you guys just to be able to have the opportunity to build upon that?
Oh, we're very excited. I think we're building some momentum to getting better and better each and every day. Of course, we haven't reached where we want to go, and it's a long ways away, but I think we're getting steps closer and closer to where we want to be at. I think at this point, we got a chance to have some rest. I know that's good for some of the old guys, but for some of the young guys, we should be very fresh and just ready to run and play our games.
Brandon, Mark Menard here, WWL Radio. You said you could see the team coming together even more during the isolation that's coming up in Orlando. How do you feel about how far you guys have already come in terms of your chemistry and your development as a team over the course of this past year?
Well, I get excited every day when I come inside. The practice facility and just see the guys working in the morning. Not nobody behind them telling them to work out or anything. Just them having the right attitude coming in here every single day, and just knowing from that point, I know it's something good in the room. We have a lot of young guys. That's something you don't see from a lot of young guys that can come in and be professionals and get their work in and know exactly what they need on the basketball floor. So I think that's the part that gets me more excited. Just us coming in here and just competing every single day and putting in the work that we need to put in, and that's how we're going to reach our ceiling.
Yeah, this will be the first time you really get to play in some games with some real playoff stakes behind them. How much are you looking forward to proving what you can kind of do in games with that level of intensity?
Well, I don't think prove is the right word. I think I'm excited to just compete. I think every time we get on the basketball floor, I think that's the biggest word is just compete. And I think with that, we just had to bring the effort. The easiest part is the part on the offensive end. I think we all know how to get the ball in the basket and make the right play. I think it's the defensive end that we have to pay attention to and have an urgency on and pay attention to every detail in every minute of the game.
Would you say that sitting out is forced to not play for these weeks with the COVID? Would you say that's helped you appreciate it more? Are you more anxious to play now because you haven't been able to for the past 15 weeks or so?
I mean, that could be the reason. The other reason could just be because I love basketball and just like being with my teammates. So I mean, every time stuff like this happens, you do get a little more appreciation for the things that you go and work for your family. So I think that I'm definitely more appreciative to get back on this floor.
Fletcher, go ahead.
Okay, I have two questions, Brandon. Sorry, Will. One is, have you thought about if you all are successful in getting to the playoffs, you will more than likely face your former team, or is that something you can't really worry about because there's still the if that you all have to get in? And I'll let you answer that, and then I have one more question, if that's okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's crossed everybody's mind. That's some of the stuff that people around the organization or some of the trainers in here, they talk about us facing our old team and being in that first round against the Lakers. But I think from a player standpoint, I think our focus is one game at a time. I think each one of these games are very important for us to try to get into the playoffs and try to face these guys. I think then we'll worry about if we going against the Lakers.
All right, and then my second question is, David Griffin last week when he met the media expressed optimism in you re-signing this summer or this offseason, I should say, in being a part of the core going forward. Just what you've seen in your year here, in the culture, and how confident you feel about being here long term.
Well, that's definitely a question that'll be answered after the season. But how I feel right now, I feel really good about this team. Like I said, we all are at a good age where we are trying to tap into our potential and getting better each and every day, and we come in and compete. I see a lot of young guys that can be here in this league for a very long time, not because of their basketball talent, but just because of the attitude and their character when they come inside the building. So I feel like I'm in a good spot right now. I like where I'm at, but that's a decision that is going to have a lot of factors in it that'll happen after the season.
Hey, Brandon, Rod Walker with the Times-Picayune Advocate. Just how different do you think it's going to be playing, without any fans in the stand? What kind of adjustments would that cause you have to make?
Well, fans get a lot of stuff going. I know on some bad nights when we have, we use the fans to get us going and get us hyped. But I think this is our time that we have to use our own juice, our own energy, just like going going back to like open gym where we just trying to go at each other and trying to make the best out of each other, but trying to do it in the right way. So I think this is a time where we got to feed off other people on the team and feed off the fire on the bench.
I got a second question too. Just how confident are you that the NBA is going to be able to pull this whole thing off and be able to finish the season?
I'm not that confident about that. I mean, it looks like everything is going through as we going through Orlando or whatever, but like you said, new cases are coming up, different things are happening. So I'm not very confident, but they got us going on to Orlando on the 8th, so we'll see.
And Brandon, just touching one more thing on the contract. When you do look into the offseason, what's the most important thing to you at this point in your career when you're going to be navigating through that process?
Well, the most important thing for me at this time in my career is where I can show my talent the best, where people can see that I could do everything on the basketball floor, where I'm in a good position, where somebody's going to push me every single day, that I'm in love with the environment, the people around, and just guys around that can ultimately win a couple championships or win a championship or whatever it is. Ultimate goal is to win. So wherever we can do that the most, that's where I want to be.
Thanks, Brandon.
Thanks, B. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Lonzo Ball will be up shortly.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it.